All right, welcome everybody. You guys already know me. My name is Gadhvi. So, what we're going to discuss today is we're going to discuss what is the standard structure for any first level meeting, right? So we need to have a scale as we discussed, where everybody can measure how good my call was. Did I miss anything? So we'll record this. We'll go back when we have meetings, come back and check what did I miss. So this will act upon as a scale. So basically, for any good meeting, what I did is I focused on three things. Okay, those three things are: what, first thing first, meeting is not a good meeting if you're talking most of the time, if you're telling them how wonderful, how great, what we are. Okay, it's not the actual ideal meeting that anybody would consider as the best meeting. The best meeting is where you're asking questions, where you're understanding the customer, you're understanding the pain, what they do, okay, how they do, okay, and why they do. So these are the basic three questions that you should have written on your notepad before you even conduct a meeting, right? So whenever you're going for a meeting, of course you'll check the background, what the customer is, what the company is, and then what is it that you want to achieve out of the meeting, right? What type of questions that you want to ask, because more questions you ask, better control you will have on the call. And if you want to take it even a further next step, so if you take it to a next step, the good salespeople, they don't only just know how to ask questions, but great salespeople, they know how to get answers to those questions, right? So we'll talk about these two and what type of questions. I'll need your participation as well. What do you think would be included? What type of question should be asked? Okay. So to starting from the top, when I say what, it includes two things. One, before the call, the pre-call work, and then on the call as well, right? So what is it that you will track before the call, or what is it that you will try to find out in what? Anybody?
What is the background of the company?
What is the company's background? Okay.
Product line.
Okay.
Prospects profile,
Contact background.
contact background, right?
End users.
Vendors.
Hello.
What is the product that they are dealing in?
Yes. So company background, their offerings, I would say,
Yeah.
right?
And application.
The contact role, KRA, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, their experience, right? Is it a technical contact or is it a business contact? Very important, right? So technical versus business. All right, what else? What else do I need to know before the call? So I understood, okay, this is company XYZ, they're into so and so businesses, this is what they offer and this is what they sell to. Okay, I understood this. I understood this is the contact responsible for, let's say, marketing, in the area, and he's been around for 10 years. He's the business contact. Okay, I understood. The third thing what I need to do is, what is it that I have which is relevant? What is it that I bring to the table which will add value to him? So be prepared with that as well, right? So what do we offer? Or relevant? Our relevant products. Okay, this is what we are doing before the call. Okay, I think some of you guys are already doing it. We need to do it consistently. That is, anything else, Zarkam? Anything we need to add?
I mean, yeah, it is covered under contact itself and the offerings, right? I would
Yeah.
also understand who their customers are, and I would try and always link their business with their customers.
Correct.
So I'll prepare myself based on that.
Yes. Okay.
Customers.
Great. So I think that is what we need to do. Okay. Once we get on a call, after you've just given your introduction and set the agenda, after that you'll focus on what is it that they do. Okay, and the way you do it is you probably start with saying, hey, look, I understand you're in business of so and so. So you make the person realize that you already know about the business. You are into so and so, and then you need to validate which business unit this contact belongs to. It's a huge organization, right? They're probably having 7 business units. If it is clear, then it's good. If it is not clear from LinkedIn or any other profile, you need to go and probe him first and understand where does he fit into the company. Okay, so first we need to understand his role, responsibility. Great. So some of the question will be, great, John. Thank you for your time. I understand your business into so and so, and there are different business units. It will be really nice and helpful for me if you can just elaborate a little bit on what your role is and how.
Have that call now. Yeah, I just called him. Yeah.
7, no?
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
not
he's
7.
free. He said, yeah.
ठीक है, ज़रूर.
You can stay.
All right, so I understand this is your business. Can you help me understand where do you fit into the business? Which business are you responsible for? That is one of the probing. Okay, so this part is purely about them, right? What do they do? What is their role? What is it that is important for you? Right? Then you get into probing. You understand the person's role, and until you're not clear about the person's role, don't even move further. Why? Because if you're going to a doctor, and if he's not clear about your pain or whatever illness you have, how would you feel if he gives you medicine? Right? The same case, so don't go into half-cooked thing, and don't even feel that, oh, I'm asking too many questions. It's fine, ask questions, but give your justification also. Why are you asking those questions? Hey, look, sir, I know, I'm sorry, I'm asking a lot of questions, but it's very critical for me to understand what is it that you do and what is it important for you, so that it'll help me understand if I can add any value to you or not. And if I can't, I will say so, and we'll be done. Okay, at the end of few minutes, if we come to conclusion, no, I feel that we cannot add value to you, I'll let you know. Is that fair? Of course he'll say yes. So what are you doing is you're respecting his time, okay, and you're setting an expectation that there is no obligation that we need to have business immediately. Of course, if there's any synergy, which will happen, okay, but it's our job to make sure find synergies at the same time. Okay, right. So quick recap again. What is the company into? What is the person's role? What do we have to offer? Relevant work. And then this is the pre background. When you get on a call, you do the same thing. Hey, I understand you're in business this, you're responsible for this, can you help me understand this more? Then he will tell you that yes, this is what it is, this is what it is, this is what I do. Okay, and then there are some more probing questions that you can ask them. Okay, great. So typically when I work with the head of marketing, these are the areas where I feel that they really struggle with. For example, they don't get intelligence or insights on time, they're not accurate, they struggle to find information in high growth niche markets. I just want to understand a little bit, is this something that the case with you as well? Because if so, that there are things that we have worked and the way we have done is, probably I can highlight those areas, how we have addressed those things. Okay, so now what you're doing is you're talking about them, his role, his problem, his challenges, what is it that is important for you, and that is the biggest differentiator between an average call and a good call. Average call, they focus on, hey, great, thank you for your time, we are markets and markets, agenda is so and so, let me tell you about us, how wonderful, how great we are, this is what we do, we offer syndicated, we offer consult. The other person is already asleep. Right? It's always about them. Okay, so once we find out about the role, areas responsible for, and challenges, ask them, okay, why do you think it is happening? I'm assuming that you identified some area, pain, challenge, need, something, right? Then you need to understand why you're doing what you're doing, or why do you think it is happening, right? And then ask how. How is, okay, great. So assuming that this is an ongoing thing, How do you usually tackle this right now? Okay. How do you go about getting the right insights right now? Okay, so I'm struggling to get so and so market intelligence. I'm sure they might be doing something about it, right? You're not the only person who can, who has the Brahmastra, right? So, okay, so how have you been doing? So I said, yeah, so we did some research ourselves. We also spoke and found some information outside, blah, blah, blah. Great. So now you have everything that you need to know about them, right? What they do, what is important to them, how they're doing, why they're doing this, why is it important. And when we're talking about why, relate it with the business. Okay, at the end of the day, everything that is going on in a company, all the functions, BUs, ITs, HRs, research, why are they there? Because everything to do with the business, how they can grow the business. They're supporting the business. But at the end of the day, any research, any technology, any product, solution, it is connected to their business. It will affect their business. It will help them to grow their business. That's why they're doing what they're doing. They hire a lot of people. Why? Because it's for business. Right? They have policies in place because to support the business. They have ITs, technologies in place, Salesforce in place. Why? Because everything supports business. So when they're doing go-to-markets, when they want some reports, when they want some studies, it's to do with business. But the average salespeople, they're disconnected with that. They think, okay, he's only interested in report, let me sell a report. But they don't ask, why? Why do you need this report? Why do you need this data? How is it going to help you? How is it going to help your business? These are some of the questions that you need to write it down when you're going for the meeting. All these questions you should need to write it down, that you have a checklist. That in case there are times, right? You probably reached a point on a call that you don't know what do I ask next. What do I do next? So this is where you need to have your questions. Okay, you need to have a flow. Okay, so introduction, probing, questions, understand what, why, and then have those questions written. So you don't have to think also. So, but over a period of time, now me and other people, they don't need all that script. But initially when you're starting, it's good to have. Every call, prepare, have the question that I need to achieve this. And my only goal on any client call is what? To close a deal. But the probability, the kind of business we are in, 90% of the time or 99% of the time, you cannot close them on the first call. So what is the second next objective? Is to find a requirement or opportunity. Right? The way cold call ka maksad hai, of course everyone is to sell, but cold call is to get an appointment, get a time for a meeting. Your goal is to generate an opportunity. Right? Make sense? Any questions? All good? All right. So relate everything to business. Okay. This is the biggest gap which I see on the floor. Don't just talk about report. I'll provide you consult. I'll provide you a study. Understand why you need it. How is it going to help business? And then how you're doing it right now. Okay. Oh, one of the other important question. Why now? Why you want this data, this insight, this information now? Why not 2 months prior? Why not 2 months from now or 6 months from now? Why is it important to have this data now? Okay. And what also can have one more question. What happens if you don't have that information? Is it going to impact your business? Is it going to impact you personally? All those things are the questions that will get you closer to the customer and understand what is important for them. Okay? And then let's close it with how you're doing it at the moment. Do you have the vendors? Okay. You can even ask, how would it be if you get exactly what you're looking for? How is it going to help you? That is also one more important question. Okay? So assuming that we get you exactly what you need, how is it going to help you in your business? So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to understand, is it really important? Like I had one of the call, when the customer, we all were there. Customer gave a requirement. Here's the requirement, here's what I'm looking to do. Okay, but when I pro more, then average salespeople, they'll say, oh great, I got a requirement. That's what I wanted to do, and run. Okay, thank you. We'll send you the proposal, and that's it. But a great salespeople, they'll ask, okay, great, we have the requirement. We will do this. May I ask you a few more questions just to understand this? Yeah, sure. Or you don't even have to sometimes ask, hey, I just had a few questions just to understand what you're trying to achieve here. Assuming that you said this market or this data is important to you, assuming that we get this to you exactly how you need, how's it going to help you? Or how's it going to help your business? Start with how is it going to help the business? How they'll say, based on which we will build our strategy, we'll launch new products, we'll go to new markets, whatever it is, of course going to add, this is how it's going to help. Okay, great. So in short, there are millions which are riding on this decision. He said, yes, there are millions. Imagine when you can quantify that requirement, and when you say it's only 50,000, it's very easy to sell. But if you don't quantify that opportunity, then selling 50,000, you will just be in a price war. Because you've not quantified how is it going to help their business. But now you quantified, it's a piece of cake, right? So that's what we do, right? Same thing, then you apply. So the first portion was about them, right? What, why, how they do. The second portion is about you now. Okay? You can again follow the same format. What do you do? Hey, we are so and so. How wonderful, great we are, you can say.
Yeah.
Again, there may be some calls which you may not be able to, follow the same structure. Some person say, oh, tell me more about you. So you can start with saying, hey, who we are, and then go back to this original format. Hey, great, before I get into detail, hey, may I ask you a few questions? Give him some gist about who we are, blah, 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 markets. But again, go back to this. Because if you miss the first part about them, there's no way you'll sell anything. Right? Now, coming to your part, what do you do? Okay, you know what we do, right? You all know our offerings, and I think pura gaya hai abhi tak sabko. All right? This portion is missing. I can challenge 99% of people don't say this on a call. Why we do what we do. And that's the difference between Samsung and an Apple. Apple knows why they're doing what they're doing. Samsung is growing. Maybe Samsung is the wrong example, but all other cell phone providers, they don't know why they're in this business, why they're doing what they're doing. As Apple says, that they're in the business to change the status, to challenge the status quo of the technology, to empower the people who can change the world. So they have the big belief, and they have why. Steve Jobs was the biggest example of why. Because of him, Apple is Apple today. When he left, Apple went down. Market share of Apple 4%, losing 1 billion every month. They were forced to bring him back. They were forced to bring why factor in there, because he was passionate about this.
I had actually read somewhere that inside a brain also, like the center is why.
Yeah.
If that is clear,
Yeah.
then what
Yeah.
comes after that?
Yes.
And the last circle is how.
Yeah.
So how can be like irrelevant?
Why,
to some-
what, and how.
Yes.
Simon Sinek video.
Yeah.
Watch a
correct.
Simon Sinek video. Yeah, I'm also a big fan of him. And his ideology, his thought process completely makes sense. Right? This is why, this is missing. We want to become a best team. Why we want to become best team? We have some motive that we want to challenge the status quo. We want to become extraordinary. We want to become the benchmark. That's why. Most of the teams, they don't even have that why defined. And they know what they do. They're supposed to make calls. They're supposed to get meetings. They get revenue. Why? Because there's no vision. There's no why in the team. There's always a chaos. I gave you example of the guy, right? 1 month in the system, he doesn't know what to do. And our team members already, second day getting meetings, right? So that's why, because we have why clarified. Okay, so coming back to the same call discussion, how are you going to articulate why? Why we do what we do? We are, first you already explain who we are, what we do. Okay, explain reason why we do this is we believe in empowering our clients who are changing the world for good. Why are we in this business is because we want to help our customers become very successful, because our success depends on their success. And that is why we are growing at the rate of 90% year on year. And that is why we are getting funding of 56 million from people who don't know us much. Right? So you already clarified why. Again, it's for them. Your motive, your mission is bigger than just selling reports or studies or consults. Okay, so you need to clarify why you're in this business. Okay, 2 more lines which you should definitely add is why we are doing this, because there's a big problem or challenge in today's world. The technology is evolving so fast that what was possible in the past, if there was a business, new idea, it had a life of 20 years. But in today's time, that idea life is about 5 years, because the technology is changing constantly and it's killing the business of today. So why we are doing this? Because we know if there's anybody who can support our clients and get them to the pace of the changing landscape of technology, that is us. Because we know that those disruptions or changes which are happening in the technology world is going to impact our clients' business up to 70 to 80%. And if we can support them, we can help them grow, we also grow together. And that's why we do what we do. Right? Make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Then how we do it. Okay? Now we discuss, so again, going back in the flow, when you're doing it on the call, it will be smooth. It's just that I'm explaining it to you, it sounds a little big. But when you call, it's just a matter of few seconds, you can cover everything. 30 to 60 seconds is max, you can cover everything. How we do it, okay? We have an great network of people. We track the technologies, disruptions which is happening in the market on a regular basis, and we quantify all that information which nobody else is in the market doing. For instance, there are some areas which you are present right now, and there are some areas which you are not, but those are the areas which are growing. Do you know there are XYZ areas which are growing in the market which will impact your business? That's exactly what we do and how we do it. We put it in a very structured format, in a graphical, interactive dashboard format, where you can just click a few buttons. You'll be able to track which markets that you can leverage, and you get the quantified information in detail by just few clicks. So this is how we do what we do. Right? Make sense?
Yes.
So this is all about it. Okay? First, again, repeat, starting with about customers. What are they into? Why they're doing? Okay, what they're doing, or all those things. About business, why the challenges and all those things, connect that. How they have been managing the situation so far. Okay, and then repeating same thing from our standpoint. Okay, and then you connect the dots. What he said, just take the loop from there. Say, hey, you mentioned that this was an area. This is what we, as I mentioned, we can do. Let's schedule a discussion with experts, or let's have a discussion document prepared. We'll share it how we can solve those problems for you. So now you have an opportunity. You got the pipeline. Okay, questions?